So the canal has finally melted. It's a beautiful sunny day. And I just wanted to say Happy New Year. I'm a bit late doing this video. I've been meaning to do it for ages, but I've been pretty busy. But now I've got a bit of stillness, a bit of calm, and I'm enjoying peace. I just wanted to talk about the new year because I noticed that it was all going around like social media. A lot of the people that I listen to, the slightly more alternative people especially, were all talking a lot about how actually the new year, it's not the real new year, because the real new year for a long time was actually the 1st of April. And it's funny how that's when the new tax year starts, isn't it? So that's a big clue that actually that's how it used to be. So they must have not been willing to change that part. I don't know. I guess it's just too complicated, or they didn't want to lose any money or something probably. But yeah, so it used to be 13 months and then they changed it to 12, so we lost a month. That's why, you know, everything's slightly out of sync and they're all different days. And as someone also pointed out, that means you kind of lose a month's wage because most people are paid monthly. So imagine if there was 13 months, that would kind of help. And things like, yeah, October is the 8th month, because if you think about an octagon, the shape, it's 8 sides. And November should have been the ninth month, and all of these words that are big clues. So yeah, just wanted to kind of mention that, and how I find it strange that suddenly this year it seems like everyone's talking about it. And it's always been true. I mean, I think the facts have always been out there. And I remember someone saying years ago to me something about there being 13 months in a year and how they changed it, but it just felt as though nobody really cared that much or saw the significance of it. But it feels like maybe the world's starting to be ready to hear these things more and waking up to things a bit more. So I feel like it's maybe some kind of sign. This is a nice old pub here, the Water Witch. So yeah, just feel like maybe this year could be some kind of new beginning somehow. I feel like there might actually be more people celebrating around the 1st of April. And I feel like this time it's a time more for stillness and quiet and reflection. And maybe it's a bit of a trick, you know, that they're telling everyone feels like they should be rushing about and getting fit and doing all these energetic things. I've seen so many people jogging along the canal at night or early in the morning, you know, when it's pitch dark. And you just think, really, is your body really wanting to do that? Or are you forcing it? Whereas if you waited till April, your body probably would want to get out there and you would feel more energized and you would feel like doing things. And I think when people are forcing themselves to do it and not listening to their bodies because it's dark and your body just wants to hibernate, then maybe that's why a lot of people tend to get ill at this time of year. And also, probably that's the reason why a lot of people tend to fail with all these resolutions, because actually, you know, you don't have the energy levels at this time of year to be doing all these fitness things. So maybe that's why, you know, people tend to always, not be able to stick at things. Also, I heard a conversation in the cafe the other day where a woman was saying about how in lockdown her daughter actually has now got a lot of problems, health problems, like problems with her legs, because she jogged so much in lockdown. And I know there was nothing else to do, but still, you know, you've got to listen to your body. And if you're overdoing anything like that, you can cause yourself a lot of issues, health issues in the future, you know, because like, as I could hear her saying, she was jogging mainly on, you know, concrete. Like if you're jogging now, I'd be jogging along this canal, which is what I've seen so many people doing in the last week. And it's just a bit bonkers, because you're probably actually doing more harm than good, to be honest. You know, I tried jogging, I think once in lockdown, and it gave me a stitch after about 10 minutes. And I just thought, my God, this is awful. It's not making me feel good at all. It just made me feel awful. My body was just saying, stop this. And I did. I just never did it again. But I did loads and loads of walking, and especially barefoot walking. And I think there's much more benefit to be had. Ooh, going through a tunnel. Much more benefit to be had from gentle exercise, and especially barefoot walking, because you're, you know, connecting with the earth. There's loads of benefits, and you've just got to watch where you go. Obviously, there has been the odd issue where I might have trodden on something like a little bit of glass or a little bit of these little seeds and stuff. Actually, nature can be quite painful sometimes. Even when it's natural, it can be like quite sharp, so you have got to just be aware. But then your feet do toughen up slightly as well, to be honest. So I've never personally had any injuries or anything. Obviously you do have to really watch out for any dog poo as well. I think, did I have that once? No, I think it was sheep or something. I think sheep poo's not too bad because they only eat grass really, so you don't really have to worry about that. See, I think I've always been lucky that I've never had anything too bad happen. But yeah, you know, just pay attention. But I really do feel like stuff like that is so much more beneficial. I know you do need to do some exercise, they say, that, you know, works your heart. But for me, just walking upstairs does that, you know. I mean, the park where I live, there's a memorial with loads of steps. And if I just do that, you know, that does my heart. And it goes back to normal pretty quick. So I think that's apparently a good sign if you do something where your heart beats really quick, and then it's how fast it can regulate itself back to normal. So I feel like I'm okay in that department really. And yeah, I don't think it's necessary to maybe do quite as much as what they say, because I know so many sporty people, to be honest, and all they do is get injuries, and then because they get injuries they can't do anything for ages. So it totally backfires. So they actually often end up, say, out of a year, maybe for 6 months, they can't really do any of the things they want to do because they're injured. Whereas I never really do anything too extreme, but I never get any injuries. So, you know, I can still do all my long walks, I can still do my yoga and my tai chi and swimming or whatever, you know. Everything I do is pretty gentle really. I might do the odd hill walk just to like challenge myself, you know. But I just think, isn't that surely something that's better? Because if you can be more consistent with it, I would say that that's better for your mental state and your physical state. Because, you know, if you're going to get all frustrated if you can't do anything for months on end because you've got an injury. So yeah, I think people need to just really think a bit more carefully. And if your body isn't, you know, wanting to do all these keep fit things, and you're just doing it because you feel like you should or whatever, because everyone else is, then I think twice, because you may well be doing much more harm than good. So yeah, that's my views on things. And yeah, I've got an uncle actually who ended up having 2 operations on his ankles, and now actually he's had a hip replacement as well, but he is getting old. But a lot of his injuries were from doing a lot of marathons. He did loads and loads of marathons when he was younger. And yeah, the consultant basically said, you know, it's all that pressure on your joints, you know, running on roads and things which we're not really made for. So yeah, here you go. There's a prime example. Wonder how long she's been doing it for. I mean, even young people, like I say, oh, there's one on the other side, they don't realise they can damage themselves. You know, they might be okay now, but in 5 years' time, there could suddenly be problems because of what they've done now. So